Hello. Hi. Sorry for the lateness. Welcome. Whew. I've been running like a chicken with its head cut off. My God. How's everybody doing? Give me a second. I'm still not fully done with everything. I didn't even get to finish this drawing. He's missing all his mushrooms. So I'll be doing that in a second. I'll be finishing that up. I gotta tape this down. I gotta wash off my palette. But I figured I could at least be live for those things. All the other stuff I was just like running around for. I had to print it out, blah, blah, blah. I drew this like an hour ago and it went up to the time I was scheduled to start. So it's been a thing. How are you doing? Okay, this is what I've been keeping my brushes in lately. It's an old paper towel holder, very majestic. Keeps the dust off my brushes and keeps them nicely put together. These are my favorite ones. It's funny because I have this really nice one that I keep my brushes in. This one, it's like a tackle box thing, you know? But I've got all my brushes in here, but my favorite ones I'm keeping in a paper towel roll. So, do the math there. Who knows why I do that? I don't know. It was a spur of the moment thing. Alright, let's tape this mother down. And I'll be honest, it took me a minute to get back into the swing of thinking about Bickerborough. Like, I have to be kind of in the zone for that. Just because it's swearing humor, and swearing humor, I feel like you have to be in a specific mindset or else swearing isn't funny, you know? Like, I feel like a joke that has swearing on a certain day would be hilarious, but on the wrong day, it's not funny at all, you know? So, it's like to actually, I don't want to say I'm writing jokes, but I guess I kind of am. You know, to make it funny, you have to be in the mindset of funny. So, it's kind of tough. So for all of these, I have to be in a specific mindset when I'm thinking of them. And I've thought of a bunch of different ones, but once I figure out, like, what I want the animals to say, I have to think of the animals. Typically, it's the situation first, then I pick the animals. But, it's kind of tough because you want to think about, well, what are these characters doing to be saying this? And then you have to match animals to the situation and what would make sense. So this one had a couple different iterations in my head that I was thinking of. But I realized I hadn't done pigs yet, and I thought that might be pretty fitting. And I also realized that I've been doing, like, this project has no real rules when it comes to the scale of animals. So, shoot, I have to sharpen this. So because of that, it gives me a lot more things to work with. See, like, these are basically fey pigs. They're like really tiny pigs. Because I realized I had done a porcupine, I had done a beaver the size of a woodpecker, which I don't know if the woodpecker's big in that sense or whatever, but you know, I had made it so they could exist in the same kind of plane, you know. Because you think about all those kids' books and stuff that have that, like Richard Scarry's Busy Town, Beatrix Potter does that too. Like, they kind of say to hell with, you know, what the real sizes is. I want all these animals to interact on the same level. So because of that, we get this situation. Do a really wide one over here. I haven't done a wide one. Wide and shallow. How was everybody's week? What kind of one do I want to do here? Really low gills? I'm more upset about the Henry Cavill Witcher news than I honestly thought I would be. Because it took me till season 2 to actually start really liking the show. Season 1 was kind of meh. But season 2 was awesome. So I started really liking it then, and now this news of him not reprising the role, even though it's for good reason, like I'm behind him for it, it still kind of sucks, and I don't like Liam Hemsworth for that role. Hi, Weasel! I think it was good. I don't know why I can't remember it right now. First week in November. What did I do? I've been finishing up, my Devoted Dandikin. They got, oh my god. Jeannie, I think I forgot to send out your package. Oh my god. Did I? Did you get it? Oh my god, I absolutely might have forgotten. Let me look at my spreadsheet. Oh, you did? Okay. Oh man. Hold on, I'm looking at the wrong spreadsheet. Oh, I had a moment. Oh yeah, you're on here. Okay, phew. Just making sure. Oh, and you love him. Oh, good. I'm so glad. So I was finishing up Devoted Dandikin stuff, which are original ATC cards I do for them every month. And I was very late on October's, as I mentioned in the Patreon post at the end of October. Oh my god, it's November. So I've been doing that. I've got 2 Pet and Armors I'm currently almost done with, and a third that's like 75% of the way. And then I'll try to get the marketing out for this month's Guardian and Clover cards. So it's already been busy. I still wish there was a week between months that was like neither month, so you could actually kind of have a post-mortem of the month before and prep yourself for the upcoming month. And this weekend I gotta like look up voting stuff so I can vote. Let's see. It's a nice windy, cloudy autumn day today. Very happy about that. A tween week would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh man, I would love that. Story in the back of the Little Witch rang a bell for me, so that's cool that there's a connection like that. Oh, that is cool. A good bell or a bad bell? When you say it rang a big bell, do you mean like you remembered something or it triggered something? Hopefully not in a bad way. Oh, Jeannie, I hope I didn't make you sad. I mean, Weasel. Weasel, I hope I didn't make you sad. Do I want to make that the same mushroom? Nah. Nah. Maybe a different mushroom. Okay, so once I get this, I actually recorded the process of this piece, so that'll be good for this month's patrons. So I'll put that up in the next update. And luckily, since I reline this at the end after all the painting, the fact that these lines are so much smoother and better than these lines won't matter, because they'll all kind of meld together, really. That's not what that would do. Yeah, the witch story was a little bittersweet, but I do that once in a while. I'll have one that's kind of sad, or a protagonist that's not what it seems. I think those stories are important to include, you know, just as good as feel-good ones. I like the Kiwi one for that reason, because he was a bad guy turned good guy, so I like that. Friends have moved this past year, but I still message with them. I think the change in seasons has me thinking of changes, and the story went with it. Oh. So, yeah, bittersweet is a good way to put it, huh? Well, I'm glad it touched on those things. It feels like autumn is kind of, that transitional time in a lot of ways, life-wise, and in just a lot of ways, the end of things. I don't know. I feel like you can always depend on autumn to have some things end, good or bad. I feel like you can always know that something's going to end. And sometimes that can be good, sometimes it can be bad, but I hope all in all, Jeannie, it made you feel good instead of bad. Hi, I asked. I'm well, how are you? How you been? How's your Halloween? Did you make a cool costume? I know you love costumes. You always make such cute ones. I did not get to finish this line art before the stream, so I'm doing it now. So you get to see a fun mix of digital line art and traditional and how I'm going to merge them. Fun, huh? Sometimes that's just what happens. And you go with it. Good, yes. Agreed. Kind of want to put bushes in the background. So maybe we'll do that. Oh, it's so windy outside. It actually whistles around here. It's really cool. And our windows rattle a bit because they're not the newest things, It's okay. I'm okay with all my old windows except our windows out front. They're like single pane, really old, and it's a big amount of windows to be that janky, so it'd be really nice to replace those sooner than later. But that's expensive. We gotta redo that patio in the backyard first before that, because that could affect our foundation. So do what you gotta do first. Until then, we'll be covering these windows in plastic. Does anybody here still cover their windows in plastic? I totally do. Finished hanging up some new decor and costume accessories, and my Halloween was pretty good. Spent the weekend of it at FurryCon. Oh! That's interesting that FurryCon was Halloween weekend this time. I think when we went, it was at the end of November. I think that was back in like 2018, I want to say. Maybe that's where I met you. Do you remember? Oh, you're covered in some wool blankets? That sounds great. That's what I'm gonna do after the stream. I'm gonna just cuddle up and work. That is one of the nicest things about being an artist. I love the modularness of it. Like, I can go to almost any room, set up shop. I mean, unless it's like a painting. If it's a painting, I can't really do it on the couch due to incline and all that. Like, I could if it was more of a static medium, like acrylic or something, but since it's watercolor, it uses like angle to affect how the pigment goes and all that. So I don't think I'll do trees in this one. I do a lot of trees. Maybe we'll just stick with the bushes and the line. Oh, you know what? Maybe I would do trees. Or a tree or something, just because of I haven't done an autumn tree setting yet. So maybe I should. And then also with that, it just makes sense that the mushrooms would be in shade. So let's do that. Except we'll make sure this tree is a little bit different than the trees in my past ones. It's a little bit further in the background, and we won't do so much detail on it. But this means for sure that I have to mask out this bubble. So this may be a longer stream today. I had to draw extra on here. Usually in November, not sure why they had it on Halloween. Same weekend as Baltimore Comic-Con. Oh. Online Fae Guild. Awesome. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Yeah, that's weird. It was during Baltimore. Hopefully it wasn't too much, like, I want to say competition between the two conventions, but okay, I think that's good. This looks like crap, though. There we go. A bit better. Okay. I need to mask that out. I need to take a process picture and then mask it out. Okay. Ooh, Weasel has a good point. What does your Fae Guild do? man, my shadow is totally in this. Okay. Does that mean that you guys all kind of coordinate like which con you're going to be at next and all that? Like so you can all meet up as your Fae selves? Fae folk? Alright. I'm going to do this masking fluid. I already ruined this brush, so let's go for it. Goodness. Ugh. I would assume that's pretty cool though, because then you all can tell each other like, oh, a new con popped up for Faes here, you know? Like, telling each other where the new Fae places are. Are you serious? Am I doing this wrong? I'm really bad at push and twist. There we go. Oh my gosh. Is anybody else bad at push and twist things? Pill bottles and all that. Sorry if my breathing's kind of heavy. I've got my allergies are in town, so it's a fun thing to deal with when you're a streamer. So usually you got the microphone right up in your face and you're sitting here like sound like a giant monster. Speaking of monsters, how was everybody's Halloween? We got like 3 trick-or-treaters, and we had prepared for like 18. We had like 18 full-size candy bars we were prepared to give out, and we only got 3. I don't know if it's just like all the kids are going to a richer neighborhood or something, or what, but our neighborhood is definitely not the hot spot, apparently. That should be good enough. Hi, Box! Oh no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the alpaca print at all. No shame. You do you. A regular screw on and off cap? That's smart. I should do that. Yeah, we're never gonna have kids, so we don't even really need this problem. Okay. I should put more holes around them so you know they got more mushrooms from areas. Maybe a hole going off screen over here. Off screen, please. Off canvas? I guess this is a canvas. I never refer to my stuff as being on canvas, but I guess it is. I don't know, I feel very pretentious for some reason saying canvas. But I guess they are canvases, it's not like, I don't know. American medicine packets and bottles infuriate the hubby, and swapping bottles is a great idea. It really is. Yeah, and he's not alone. Seriously. Anger all around with them. Alright, I'm waiting for this to dry. Oh, delicious. There's a hair cotton here. I don't know if you can see it. That's great. That's going to be fun. Once it dries, then I'll do a wash and we can get going. Get it going. I'm trying to think if there's anything I can announce while I'm waiting. I don't think there really is. As I was saying before, my very classy paper towel tube brush keeper is the state-of-the-art art supply you need. Oh, I know I can do. This is the palette from last week's painting. I can clean this off while we wait. Oh, weird. Apparently masking fluid sits on top of water. Huh. So does anybody have any fun news from October or fun upcoming news for November? Learning from cats. It's simple and mostly free can be the best solutions. Agreed. Like that box is a new bed. The easiest of things. I think that's good enough. Forgot I put white in this corner. Alright. That's mostly good. Is anybody working on anything today while you're here with me? Forgot to do a little Instagram story about that I'm doing this right now. Got spoiled with an early amazing B-Day present, kind of pencil thingy, and been doodling like mad kidding. Nothing I should be doing. Well, it's your birthday coming up then, right? When's your birthday? Happy birthday early. Oh, God. Technology, y'all. Working on getting my con photos up. Can I share what I wore in here? Sure. Absolutely. You always have such fun costumes. I love seeing them. You can always do that in the Discord too, I asked, if you feel like it as well. Cute. These looks have such different variation. I love it. Oh my god. Each one is such a character. I love your shoes in the first one. I would totally wear those. Those are great. You do a great job coordinating all your colors and all your accessories. I love it. I can't believe I wasn't following you. I'm so sorry. It's on the 18th, but I arrived early and hubby is in choir camp getaway, so I figure I could use it now. Oh, hell yeah. Man, I always think holidays and birthdays, like the date they land on, is just a suggestion. If you gotta move it around, move around. It's no big deal. I grew up with people who are kind of sticklers for like a absolute date, and I always just, I don't know, I didn't subscribe to that. It didn't seem like that big of a deal to me. Like if your birthday is on a Wednesday and you have to move it to the weekend to do anything, like, is that big of a deal, you know? Oh, that's still wet. Well, I really gotta wait until it's fully dry, or else I'm gonna smear all over the page. Exactly. Yeah, take the time when you get it. I mean, who cares when it is as long as you get it done, right? Like, that's the whole thing. Exactly. You get it. You get it. Oh, Chilltastic, what's up? Thank you for the follow. Just waiting for this masking fluid to dry up so I can do my all-over wash here. I usually do an all-over wash of like kind of a yellow, and then I have to wait for that to dry, and then I do the shadows in purple, and then I go from there. I totally forgot his knife. I guess he doesn't need it. I wanted to give him a knife. Dang it. Do a little bit every day. You don't have to make big things. Honestly, do tiny watercolors first. Like if you're not sure about, you know, your skill level or anything, start small. Because in the beginning, when you're learning how to do something, doing it at this size, like a trading card size, will actually make it so you make more paintings, and, you know, so you're trying different color palettes, color schemes, different staging, all this sort of stuff faster, because when you're learning, you want to do quantity over quality. You want to start learning and figuring out, okay, this is why this happened, blah, blah, blah. Don't start with giant canvases if you don't know how to compose a scene, or if you're not sure how to even watercolor yet. Start small. Start on, you know, get a little tiny, like a little tiny sketchbook. They actually sell these. If you don't want to buy your paper and cut it yourself, you can buy these. I mean, there's a reason I haven't opened these. I usually cut my own paper. But they have, this is for markers and stuff, but they have ones that are for painting. And if you want to just buy one and do that, you know, that's a great way to just start poking at watercolor without the scariness, you know? Because I know it can be very daunting when you're just starting a new medium and you're like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Am I doing it right? Yeah, there are best practices to like watercolor and stuff, but when it comes to any medium, you do it the way someone shows you or whatever, and if it doesn't work for you, do it however you want. Oh, there's a little tracing one. Okay, see, there's a canvas paper for acrylic. So I'm sure they probably have watercolor ones too. I got these free from Jerry's Artorama, so I haven't tried them yet. But yeah, start small. There's, you know, no reason you gotta do it big right away. Like, even I wouldn't do a really huge canvas, you know, that's scary. Or, you know, you don't need to exactly either. I would say until you feel comfy at a certain size, you know, then move up. You don't have to go full color. You can barely use colored water and build up slowly and steady. The other is you aren't wasting paint. You're using so very little pigment. You can get a big payoff. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, you can totally do that. The other thing with watercolor is you want to lift up your brush the least amount possible. And when I say that, I'm saying like, don't sit here and go like this, you know, with every bit of your piece. You want to like go in, put it down, move the pigment around, right, and into little areas and spots and stuff, and then pick it up. And when you pick it up, you're going to leave a dot of pigment behind. Make sure that's in an area like that's in a shadow of a face or somewhere that needs shadow, so that when you pick it up, it's just aiding in that shading, you know? So that's why they give you so many different shapes of brushes, so that, you know, when you see a certain shape of an area, you're like, okay, well, to get in there, I'm gonna need this kind of brush, so you can just do it in all one stroke, you know. And that's kind of the hard part about watercolor, is you have to plan ahead usually, because you always want to go from light to dark when you're doing watercolor, because once you go dark, you can't really go back. It's like working with ink. When you're doing like an ink wash or something, you can't really, you know. Sometimes I'll do like the darkest part of a piece first, just so I can then dial it between and make sure I get all that contrast in there. But you don't have to do that. You can totally go from light to dark, and, you know, in the beginning, I think that's better. But yeah, when it comes to watercolor, it's a harder medium, especially if you're not used to doing any sort of painting. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. I would say gouache or acrylic are good starter paint like things you can do. Wow, that's a really bad tangent. Let's move it down there. Yeah, real hair brushes are typically really good. But yeah, Box is right. If you're just starting, just get synthetic. They're okay. And you don't have to get the really expensive watercolor paper either. You should be okay with like Canson. Canson should work all right. All right, we're almost there. It's a bit tacky. Yeah, almost done. Oh man, I've got this water that just has masking fluid floating in it. That's kind of satisfying to just kind of pick it up off the surface. That's funny. Before they try to eat you. That sounds like cats. Well, food's not here. Let's eat Mom. Cat Mom. Alright. Ugh. Pressed too hard. Alright, I think I can do it because the edges are fine. I'm not going to go right over it. I'll just go close to it. So, as I said, let's start with kind of a nice soft yellow. You might not even see this, honestly. It might be too soft for the camera. But believe me, it'll be there. Try to get rid of that noise. Need a good amount of this too. A lot of pigment. Haha, pigment. LOL pigs. Going around the masking fluid. Try not to go over it. There we go. Alright. Now we can wait while I try to match the color of the screen to the color of the paper. It's a bit closer. A bit closer. Alright, we won't know for sure until we start getting the colors down, but take out my other brushes here. There we go. Some other brushes. Do I need all these brushes? I don't know. All right. Make sure that dries. If I don't, it's gonna bleed. What's the weather like where you are right now? It's finally cooler today. We had like 3 days of 70, like 5, and I'm just not happy about it. I'm in Illinois, so it's a little too warm. Sorry. Oh, that sounds perfect, Jill. That's exactly what I want here. Usually it's pretty good about being there by this time of year, but this year it's being pokey. Oh, fireworks, huh? Oh, bonfire night, yeah! I've been there for that. I feel very lucky I got to see that. We went to Lewis too. I think Lewis, for that, and saw the parade. It was really cool. 79. Wow. Oh, yeah. That's fair. Poor pups. Yeah, it was weird. The bonfire night I went to didn't have fireworks. It just had fire. Like, everything was on fire. That part was pretty cool. It was very smoky, but it was really cool. Yeah, that is weird. There were no fireworks. The cats couldn't give a shit. Baby got annoyed when the first started because he's napping, but got over it quickly. Oh. It's been so long since I've had cats. I think last time I had cats, I was maybe preteen. I ended up eventually getting allergic to them, which totally sucked. But I found out I'm more of a dog person, so I guess that worked out. But maybe it was by, like, necessity. That part's a little bit too much. Granted, it will soften up once I go over it with the other colors, but you know, just want to make sure that lighting isn't this harsh. I miss this series, man. It just takes a lot to like think about and, you know, kind of plan for. Which is funny because I totally started this series because it was super low maintenance at the time. But now it's like if I'm not thinking of it already, then I have to stop and think about it, and then that's already starting it to be a job, you know? A marching band? Whoa. That's intense. I suppose you are 7 hours ahead of me, aren't you? So for you, it's like 10 o'clock? 9, 10 o'clock, somewhere in there? And the same thing here. This is a little bit too harsh of a line. No, it doesn't change yet. And then next year, it's not going to change anymore. Like, we drop the whole daylight savings thing next year. So we do it this fall, next spring, and then not after that. So I think that's kind of crazy. Very jealous. Yeah, it's just going to be, I think, really... It's spring forward and it never changes again. Yeah, so I guess it's always the spring forward from that point on, which I guess makes sense that it'd be that one and not the other one. Yeah, the spring one is the shitty one. Boo. Take another picture of this. Make sure I'm not in the picture. It's got good lighting. Alright. I think I can start digital and some is drawn, you know? I mean, you could if you looked really close, but for the moment, it's not a big deal. Alright, so now probably be smart to do the background, honestly. So let's go back to this, and I really wanted to do some fall colors. So let me bring up, I do need a little help for this. Let's look up some pictures of some trees. So I can never remember if it's the bottom that turns red first after turning yellow or the top. It's probably the top that goes red. Maybe? Does anybody remember? Guess it doesn't matter too much, but just in case. Hello, cat. How are you? I'm gonna do the leaves first. And then just go right over this tree bark. The, what's it called? Trunk. Jesus. Oh, that's gonna be a mushroom. My bad. I'll try to drop in some reds. How's my week been? My week's been okay. Really busy, went too fast. But that's pretty typical for my weeks, if I'm being honest. How about you? How's your week? I got a lot done, but just wasn't enough. I still want my in-between week. Because right away when I'm done fulfilling things, it's like right into the next month. Oh, what happened here? Weird. What is that about? Close that up. That was strange. Oh, you had a good week? That's great. What happened? I am so happy to hear that. This side was obviously more wet than this side. That's kind of funny. I'll go over it again with some yellow and it should soften it up. Oh, it's still wet too. Guess I could go down here now. Let's make it really kind of wet so I can drop some stuff in. It is so windy today. I love it. I love a good windy day. Okay, now before that dries, let's plop in some more reds and stuff. Not too much red, I guess. Just things poodled on. Oh my god. I love you, cat. Hey, citizenship test. Good. Oh, yeah, get your hair done. I saw that picture. Your hair looks gorgeous. You look like a mermaid. I love it. So do you get a cool card then that says you're a citizen? Is it basically a green card? Is that what that is? Well, I suppose you guys have something that's probably not exactly a green card. Yeah, what do you call yours? Or maybe they're called green cards everywhere. I don't even know. That's still drying. Poodled on. I can't get over that. It's great. Poodled. Want this to kind of fade. Guess it could have a cloud too. Make it look like a cloud. And again, it's kind of low to be a cloud. Yeah, F the cloud idea. Forget it. PR card, same as a green card, but citizen, I get a certificate and I get a Canadian passport. Nice! Well done. Indefinite leave to remain. Whoa. That sounds hardcore. How do you get these things? Did you both marry citizens? Not to, you know, get too, what's the word? Personal, but Gabe and I have always wanted to leave for good, and I don't think we can easily because we don't have jobs outside the US, and we're both already married to each other, so Oh man, this brush is a little bit hard to use. Shouldn't have tried this one first. Too late now. Gotta go with it. I don't know what that brush is for. It's a bit much. Ugh. This is my least favorite color in the world, is this kind of blue. Hate it. Try not to use it when possible, but for some effects it's kind of necessary, so poo. Oh, you came over a student and got married. Being married didn't give you any right to stay. Really? Maybe that's just a United States thing. Oh. We're work permits to work there and apply for residency and then have 2 years. So you just gotta make sure you're still working there and then you can get citizenship or apply for it. I guess that makes sense. As long as you're still working there, they can't really, I guess, say no. Oh wow. Was it really expensive too? Or was it just a lot of hubbub to kind of do all the bells and whistles and hoops? So that kind of seems like the point. They're just trying to make you too, like, this is so much work. I'd rather just go back to blah 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 than live here or something. Like they're trying to fatigue you so you don't stay. No lawyers? Wow. Of course the US did. Yeah, 4 years you thought was a reality. Yep, and scarily it might come back. He was thinking about running again for 2024. If he does, the whole country's gonna burn the fuck down. Anyway. It was really expensive? Really? Is it just the process that is expensive, or when you finally have the ability and like that final price is expensive? Woo. Oh, dang. Yikes, really? That's crazy. Damn. That's a lot, man. Jeebies. Jeebies. It was worth it because he stuck with me. Well, if nothing else, I mean, you at least live there instead of here, so y'all are already winning. I know everywhere's got its problems, but let's be honest, the US is nuts. It's crazy here. Everyone's insane. Alright, I think we're about ready to go more detailed. How exciting. It's because you're from there, right? At least you're aware of it, though. I would assume, especially if you were doing it during those 4 years box, I can't even imagine that was possible with the hoops they were making people jump through at the time. Try to be pretty detailed about this piece. That's good. I'm glad everything worked out for you both. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Had to see if Gabe fed the dogs yet. Oh, really, Box? I know every place has its problems, but we honestly were looking at more like places like Ireland or Scotland or something, but like I said, I know they have their issues too. Yeah, you couldn't pay me to live in Texas. I went to Texas once, and that was in like 2006. I never want to go again. Back then it was for the heat. Now it's for other reasons. It is really windy out, like 20 miles per hour. If my stream cuts, it's probably because my power went out. So I'd probably try to get back on, just so you know. So if it goes out, if the power goes out, just hang out. I'll come back. Unless it's out for good. If that's the case, I'll go on my phone on Discord and I'll let you know if it's more of a permanent outage. Because yeah, it's really, really windy. Power gremlins. Oh yes, power gremlins. Everywhere. I'm still not used to how warm it is here. I know it's pathetic, but it's like, it's only like 6 hours away from my state, basically. But man, sometimes it just feels so much warmer here. Like Minnesota used to get snow so much earlier than we get it here. It's crazy. think I'll do pink pigs, but give them some spots or something so at least they don't look like perfect pigs, you know. I found these one pigs called Kuni pigs. Oh man, they're my new favorite pig. Hi, elephant. How are you? Kuni pig. They're like New Zealand pigs. Oh man, they are so dang cute. I will link them. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I'm just watercoloring some pigs. So not bad. Not bad at all. Kuni. Alright, let's get this pink going. Pretty sure the pink that's in my palette is a gouache and not a watercolor, but I'm just going with it. That's what I got right now. It is hard to use watercolor when I use markers a lot because I want to do my marker like how I color with markers with this, but it's like I can't because you're not supposed to pick up the, you know, the brush as much. So it's hard to get out of that habit. Remind you of Dalmatians, right? But look at the ones with the really short, fat snouts and the really fuzzy ears, and their foreheads go forward a lot. Oh my god, I love that so much. Like they have the kind of bulldog look with their noses. I love that. Oh, I love that. do not want these pigs to look pristine if they've just been digging up mushrooms all day. They should be dirty. Oh, that's a shirt. Can you hear one of my dogs? It's feeding time. He's going crazy. My little man. My only son. Oh wait, he's not wearing a shirt. Never mind. Just pants on this baby. Just pants. And I guess a neckerchief. Alright. I did want a couple different mushrooms on here, so let's do that. Remember to lift up your brush where you want that dot of pigment to be, usually in a darker area, so it just expands out and it helps create a gradient. There might be pig noises in this song. I just realized that. I think he'll be wearing red. But I want to dumb it down a bit. Almost like a brown. Yeah, that works. Is anybody else drawing today? Oop. That's his shirt. I was like, did I even draw where his shirt is? Yes, I did. It's right there. Oh, a blog. What about? Just like a diary blog? Or like an art blog? Or your painting journey? Yes. Oh, Kat. That sounds lovely. I'm glad it's a blog too. Whatever social media, especially lately. GTFO. Stuck on Ginkgo's pretty yellow fan-shaped leaves. Oh yeah, Ginkgo fairy. Oh man, what a good idea. There's so many fun things you could do with those fans with a fairy. I love it. Yeah, Ginkgo fans are very unique. You don't see many other things with those kind of leaves. This is one of those drawings where I have to second guess the things I drew. I have to try to understand, what was I doing here? What was my thought process? Do I remember what I was doing? I think getting cravings to draw certain things as an artist is one of the most fun things that happens. Like sometimes I just get a craving to draw like really long hair on something, or like a craving to draw a frog, or, you know, all these different things. Like I love that. It's like food cravings. Like you need to do it or you are very unsatisfied. Oh man, I just realized the camera's way more saturated than the painting is. Yeah, that's more accurate. Now you can see why those digital versus traditional lines earlier didn't really matter, because now they're all kind of blurring together. So later on I'll just go over it and it'll just kind of bring it all together. So you won't be able to tell which ones were digital and which ones weren't. Those of you who were here at the beginning of the stream, you know which ones are real and which ones were digital. You saw me do them. That's part of the reason I don't have my camera on today, is because it was either go up to the minute of streaming drawing and getting most of the piece done, or doing makeup and having to draw most the drawing or the painting on stream. And I was thinking, oh my god, that would be a pain in the ass. So I decided to draw most of it, and then to do makeup didn't seem as important. Oh my god, there are pig noises in this. Wow. That's crazy. Didn't even know. Didn't even know. Oh, absolutely piggish. Yeah, you got it. Dang it. I'm trying to get this cream color exactly how I want it, but I'm not getting it. Still trying. Maybe it's not exactly a cream, but yeah, kind of. Dang. It's gotta be kind of watered down too. Yeah, that'll work. We'll do that. Close enough. I thought about doing, like, having them have basket backpacks, but then I was thinking if they're getting all types of mushrooms, it would actually be kind of difficult to get a basket that could, like, accommodate all these different shapes and sizes of shroom. So I decided just to make it so each one they've got some leather rope, and they can just tie around it and throw it up there. Oh, I totally missed part of this guy's leg. I'll get that in a minute. Gabe and I realized today how guilty we are of not watching a bunch of shows that came out that are actually good shows. Like the most recent one being Modern Family. Like, we had never watched that when it came out, so we were like, well, you know, let's go watch something new. We've never seen this. Let's try this. It's really cute. It's a cute show. And I had decided to watch Handmaid's Tale this year. I had never watched that. It's a fantastic show. Very invested. I'm caught up to exactly where, like, next week they release a new episode, so I'm very into that. There are other shows that we didn't see Community when it came out, and we just saw it for the first time, I think, last year or the year before. So, like, we're very behind on all these shows. But it's like, it's hard. I've started to have the same mentality about shows that I do about books, where it's almost like I have this apprehension to try them because I'm afraid, like, you have to get invested in it before it lets you know if it's good or bad yet. You know what I mean? So, like, now I'm looking for another show, because there are certain shows we watch together, and there are certain shows, you know, I can watch while he's at work, and, you know, he can watch without me and stuff like that. But, you know, if we find one that the other doesn't really care about or something, then we tell the other one and blah, 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 blah. So I have to find a new one on my own. Originally, Handmaid's Tale was that, but then I got Gabe into it, so now he watches it too. It's so well written. It's a good show. It's heavy, but it's a good show. I think that's pretty different, but maybe add some blue to it. Yeah, that's almost a black. Not though, it's blue. That's his tail. One of my weaknesses with watercolors is remixing a color I just had. I'm getting better though. I'm running low on it. I think I have to remix it again. It's 3 times. Will I get it close? Pretty close. I think I got him. Yeah, I think I got him. Okay. Let's do the trees. I haven't really had a chance to go at the trees. Hi, EB. Craft fair did really well. That's fantastic. I'm so proud of you. So crazy. You have a craft fair like every weekend. You are booked solid. Then once I finish the pigs, I can undo the masking fluid here. I think I should do some more to the floor though. The ground. How was the weather for the fair, Evie? How was it? Warm, cold? December 17th, dang. Oh, you're in a colder area though too, aren't you? I didn't want the top of the painting to be more saturated than the bottom, so now I'm going to go over and just resaturate basically all the yellow and do all this so it's more cohesive on the top and the bottom. Oh, inside too, that's great. Well, the 70s make it so people come out, and the indoors makes it so they stay basically, right? So that's pretty cool. That's a good gig. I did one outdoor art fair and it was really bad, and I did very poorly. It was like one of my worst 3 shows, I'll say. And it was in like 95-degree heat. It was one of the worst experiences ever. I'm glad you had a nice time. That doesn't look good. Get that out of there. That looks bad. That's really weird. It gets more brown towards the center. It's more bright on the outsides. It's funny how cold red can look when you don't like warm it up with some yellow. It can just look really cold. You need it warmer. How's my week been? My week's been pretty good. I got a lot done. Really busy. Made some strides on a lot of personal projects and things. Well, not projects, but like, I mean like working out and exercise, not art related, I guess. Other than that, I've just been plugging away at stuff. 2 pet and armors are almost done. I've got another one that's like 75% of the way. It's getting there. And then I did some of my Dandikin patrons that I owe some of their things. Let's see. Oh, I did a couple house things. It's a lot more in my head. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's still a lot of work. How about yours other than the art fair? Oh, the flu. Dang. And it lasted a day? That's lucky. Good week other than that. Good. Did you get your Patreon stuff from me by chance? Did that arrive? I'm also glad your sickness didn't hang around. I heard the flu's going around. Oh, good. Vaccines, baby. Oh, good. Oh, thank you. Sorry if I'm breathing hard again. I do that when I'm concentrating, plus I'm right up near the microphone. And allergies, so there's that. Hogwarts house sticker. It's cute. Pretty pleased with the trees. Simple enough to where I like them. The background, I don't know how much detail I want to put into that. So usually these trunks would be really dark. I don't know if I want to make them really dark. Especially if the foreground's not very dark. Oh, thank you, Evie. I appreciate that. Seeing if this is dry, so I guess we're gonna put a branch up here. With gnomes on them? Awesome, do it. Gnomes are a crowd favorite. Draw them with big old noses. Draw them like Tomties. You ever seen a Tomty? I think that's how you say it. Maybe it's Tomte. Either way, it's Tomte. Look it up, they're very cute. When I first started my Guardians tier on Patreon, I used to do, like, I'd mix in mythical creatures and do my own kind of backstories for them. And the Tomty was one of them. And that one was really fun to do. Trees are kind of fun because you can kind of carve them out however you want to. Like you can look at a reference picture of a tree and then kind of figure out, oh, okay, I kind of see how that one works, and then just apply that kind of mental formula to however you want to cut it out. It's pretty fun. Please do. I'd want to see it. The little gnomes. Oh yeah? Cute. Hey, good job, Weasel. I will go check it out in a second. This one came out very, very contrasty. Didn't want that much. That's probably better. You tease him with her? Why does she hate him? Is she creeped out by him? Oh, cute. I like her, that her wings are the flower, or the leaf. Those leaves are so fun to do, aren't they? Oh, Evie, that's great. Good job. A raise is always welcome, yeah? I feel like everybody has a color they hate. People are like, oh, I like all colors. Nah, they haven't thought about it, or they don't want to admit they don't like a color. This blue, this is my hated color. Gotta do it sometimes though, gotta bite the bullet. Cartoon style, huh? How come? What made you want to do that? You know, I don't want to say the funnest part of doing these, but the part that is a really nice reality check at the end of them is when I do all this work and I try to make it really pretty, and then I erase this balloon and I write a bunch of swear words in it. It really feels like anybody else would be thinking, you just ruined that piece. But I don't know. I like kind of the, what's the word? The controversy there, you know? Jeez, this masking fluid does not want to budge. There we go. Oh, that's fair, Hebe. I switched back to my other paper after those other times. For those of you who are here, it's a big pain in the ass. This other paper I got that was cheaper. Admittedly, it was cheaper. It wasn't as high quality as this Arches is. And I tried it, and I did masking fluid like I'm doing now. And when I started doing this part, it absolutely pilled the paper. Like the paper was that cheap. It's like, really? I mean, that only happens to this paper if this paper's been through, you know, a lot. But otherwise, look how nice that's coming up. Not bad. Hold this and come out on the other side. Thank you, EP. I think a lot of people think I do them digitally in post, but I don't. As you guys well know, you watch the streams, you see how I do them. That's not bad. There's a little bit of tearing there, but nothing too bad. At least it didn't pill like the other paper. That was unnecessary. Cute and smartass. I'm glad you think so. I just think it's also just that I feel like it's sticking it to the art world a little bit, just because it's like so many people are trying so hard to make these immaculate, beautiful things that just get crunched to shit by social media anyway. And it's kind of my way of saying, yeah, I'm doing this, but I know how fleeting it is and how much it matters in the eyes of the algorithm, you know? Because I know I'll post it and it'll get crunched up. Who cares? Especially nowadays. Alright, let's see if I can write some shit in here. Where's my pencil? I had it earlier. Where'd it go? God, did it fall on the floor? No. Donde está mi lápiz? Well, I have no idea. Oh, there it is. You're hiding. Oh no, that's a paintbrush. That's my bad. Here it is. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna put the last word in here first. So I can place the other ones appropriate placement. Alright, hold on. Hi. Hi, Ren. Hi, Tad. Yeah, I made myself a little happy avatar. Like, a live 2D thing. So it's got all these faces and stuff. I rarely use them, but, you know. But on the days I don't have my camera on, I figured, I should have something up there. That's not just the gif of me drawing. I feel like that one gets pretty old. Yeah. And usually if you look up live 2D, you're gonna get a lot of anime avatar women that have big racks that are just bouncing around. Most people are using them for that. So just be aware, you won't get cute things like mine. Apparently writing S's are really hard for me. Is really hard for me? Writing S's is really hard for me? Are really hard for me? Hey Ren, you there? You been getting a lot of notifications to your iPad by chance? I want one for Zoom to use in meetings. They're great. It's just they take so much time to make. Like, I went with this 3D one because the 2D one that I had like taken all the parts for and I started animating them, the animator is so buggy and so specific, and it's unlike any other animation program I've ever used. It's got the main basics, like, you know, how their keyframes work and tweening. It's basically the same as just a really rudimentary one, but it's like how it saves and like the points, the key points, the keyframes. Oh my god, the keyframes and how they do that and how they like figure it out with the coding is just it's kind of a mess. I think it would give you a giant headache, but whatever. Give it a shot. Like, the people who make really good live 2D avatars, oh my god, they're doing that nonstop all the time. That's all they do. So they know the program backwards and forwards. But if you're just making one for yourself, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I just went with a different program that like you can customize a 3D one. Because I went through the stages. It sucks. I went through all the stages of making it, cutting out all the pieces like, you know, you normally do for an animation, for a puppet animation. And, you know, I started doing it. I'm like, oh my god, this is going to take way more time in this program. Like, if it was After Effects and I could export, like, key points and stuff, oh, I'd be fine. But no. Is my head in the shot? No, okay. Bro, fucking stop. Ah, the handwrittenness. Remember, if I suddenly get kicked off stream, it's because it's really windy here. And I'll try to get back on, and if I can't, I will let you know in Discord. funny, since I started doing these, like this, what do you call it, this series, I've had artists come out of the woodwork that never talked to me that were like, I was gonna do this series too. And I was like, okay, you still should. And they're like, I will. And then they didn't. So, or they haven't yet. So I find that really strange. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it too. And then they didn't. So it's like, were you really gonna do it? It's just really weird out of nowhere. I had someone do that to me. It's like, okay. Really strange. It's like they must have felt personally attacked that I started doing what they felt was their idea, I guess. I don't know. I got all my Live 2D stuff off Steam, so you don't even have to really get anything crazy for it. I forgot to take another picture. Hold on. Yeah, before I keep going with that, I should probably finish up these bushes. I have to kind of bring them up to the level that they are for the trees. Or else it's going to look weird because the trees are in the back and the trees are more detailed, and that's weird. Like, why would the trees be more detailed in the back when you want to be looking at the foreground? Blah, blah, blah. How have things been, Tad? How'd your move go? You guys moved, right? You did that already? The hell of Florida. Good. Tired, but good. Good. I'm happy for you, and I hope the move went smoothly. I'm glad you got out of Florida. I'm sorry, but I hate that place. I hate Florida and I hate Texas. I'm so sorry. If anybody here lives in either, I have great respect for you for sticking it out for living there. I can't go back, man. I cannot. Unless I was paid to, honestly. I'm good. I only did one con this year. I only went to Dragon Con. That was really good. It always is. Love that show. Other than that, yeah, I mean, the only online seeing of people is my weekly stream, and that's it. I mean, all of October I was just doing really nice, easy, spooky pieces. Just because I wanted to give these a break. I needed to think of more ideas, and I just needed to take a break from the series. Sometimes you just need a break to re-love it again, you know, stuff like that. So, that was kind of our October. Not much else other than that. Oh, that's great, Tad. For some reason, it's still really hard to find places that let you work remotely. I was looking for jobs recently, and man, I've got to work remotely because of where we live. I am rural and in a very strange spot, so I can't find many places though. So, oh well. I'm sure I'll find something someday, eventually. But until I do, at least I know how to kind of hustle on my own, I guess. Oh, yeah. I used to kind of poo-poo on small studios because I worked for nothing but them. And honestly, I haven't ever worked for a bigger studio, but I can't imagine it's good. And like you say, yeah, the small studios have lots of flexibility typically. Like, you know, you can kind of do whatever you want, especially if you're in charge of your own department. As long as you get your work done, they usually let you do whatever you want. So, it's one of those things where it's like, if I wanted to work for a big studio, I would have to try really hard to update my portfolio and get to know, you know, what things are industry standard now, and it would just be a whole lot of crap. But if you work for a smaller company, you can kind of do things your own way. You don't have to exactly be cutting edge because they can't exactly afford cutting edge. That kind of thing. So, and especially the way big studios are going lately, both games and animation wise, it's becoming such a tainted thing. So it's almost better just to stay away in general. Especially with how I want to, like, have my time nowadays. Like, I want to work on things that aren't my own the least amount possible. And honestly, if I could make as much as I need to on Patreon to get by, that would be the dream. Because then I wouldn't have to get a part-time job or anything. I could just keep doing what I'm doing, but, you know, more people would be on it and all that, and that'd be really nice. But that's a bit harder of a hustle to get that many people. I would have to go to a lot more live shows. That seems like the best place. I always get a lot of people when I go to, like, actual conventions and such. It's so hard to get people on Patreon, like, via the internet. It is pulling teeth. It's so much easier when you're in person and you offer them, like, an incentive and all that stuff. Way easier. You're a part-time job. Thanks. I really am. You don't know how right you are. You have no idea. Your mom's part-time job. Anyway, one flaw in my job since I am the only Viz dev. I work a lot, trained by the end of the week. Don't get to draw for myself. Yeah, I kind of get that on a smaller scale. When I was at those smaller game studios, I was like the only artist. So I feel you. Doing all the art for a game and the animation and everything was a pain in the ass. It was awesome to have that much control, and if you're a control freak, it's a great trip, but my mom was a fucking saint. Well, good. Pray to your mama. But yeah, if I could find another small game studio that, like, you know, was cool with me just working part-time, doing whatever, oh man, that'd be great. She's a whore now, but she was a saint. Nice. Oh yeah? Well, let me know if you need help. I mean, I went to college for animation. I know a lot of animation. And honestly, when I'm not doing anything work-related, animating is like still one of my top things I like to do in my spare time. So I never get to do it though. But I was doing it for a while on my Patreon for my Guardians. Every month I would animate a Guardian, but that's before I got swamped again, so I would like to go back to that. But what are you using to animate? Toon Boom, After Effects, something else? 3D, 2D, what? You're animating Clip Studio? Holy crap. I mean, Clips is basically like the way they animate in there is like Photoshop's animation frame by frame thing. It's like super bare bones. So, I mean, it's nice. Procreate also has actually a pretty good animation setup. That one is really good for previewing your animations. They do a really good job at that. I just hate Procreate. But if you're into Procreate, they've got a pretty good animation tool too. But yeah, Clip and Photoshop have really nice basic frame by frame stuff. But if you want to do like puppet animation, After Effects and Toon Boom are pretty good for that. And yeah, if you're just going frame by frame, that's totally cool. You can do that in anything with a layer system, honestly. And as long as you can export it as a GIF, you're set. You're fine. Are you animating your characters from your Tavern comic? Was it Tavern? I just remember your big burly guy. Wow, really? I bet a lot of his test animations he probably did in there. That's awesome. Good for him. Yeah, a lot of animators just seem to have one program that they kind of stick to for their kind of, safety net. Like it used to be Flash for me. I loved animating in Flash, but we all know where that went. But now, yeah, if it's Puppet, it's After Effects. If it's frame by frame for me, it's honestly Photoshop. I'll do frame by frame in Photoshop just because it's easier. But yeah, whatever feels the most comfortable, just use that. Some people use a flipbook app I've seen. Those work okay. Oh, Harmony is? I haven't even heard of that. Look at me being behind in standard stuff. Last I checked, Toon Boom was, but that was my friend who worked at Nickelodeon, and that, again, might have just been him using his favorite program. Like I said, they all have their things. Oh, is it? Okay. I didn't even know that. Are they calling it Harmony instead of Toon Boom now? Maybe I should have